So, researchers at MIT, here's the article, are trying to do this process and recreate woolly mammoths, the animals on land who are said to be the largest land mammals, I believe, that have ever lived. And they're doing this at MIT using these genetic selection, starting with mice, one step after another, creating the woolly mammoth. And so I thought I would show you a picture of how far they've gotten so far. So here's the woolly mammoth. I don't think this is a picture. I think this is a computer-generated image, but never mind. And so they start with a mouse, and they've gotten pretty far into it. So here you go. You can then see a picture of the mouse who's well on his way to becoming a woolly mammoth. And there he is. And they said in the paper that it should take not so long. They're estimating, I think, 112,364,284 years, 6 months, and 4 days of this process of induced mutations and then natural selection. So that would put it on a Tuesday, which is good, because then they'll be able to keep track of the woolly mammoth for the rest of the week before they go away on for the weekend. So as you can see, they've almost got it, and then at the end of it, they're going to try to mate the woolly mammoth and the mouse. They're going to keep this mouse going in its current form. They're going to try to mate it and create a hybrid mouse mammoth. And I can tell you, I don't want to be around when the mating session of the mouse and the woolly mammoth, especially if I was the mouse. So that's where we stand with evolution. And I don't know if I'll be around in 12 million years, but good luck to them. And I'm sure they can use all the federal funding they can get to continue this exciting project. There's a cloud over your thinking and you can't see it. So I think we can say the idea that you can put one gene forward, you start to realize the actual way that living beings work and have been created and actually function and operate. You will start to see inklings of that. But as long as you're deluded into the false claims, it's like there's a cloud over your thinking and you can't see it. So I think we can say the idea that you can put one gene from a fish into a plant, into a tomato, and splice the gene in with some sort of tiny little tweezers or a plasmid that's going to somehow magically insert it into this new genome and then create a whole different organism, that has been falsified. That doesn't happen. But there are ways of using bacteria and using good old-fashioned hybridization and good old-fashioned plant breeding and selection and animal breeding and choosing things that you want and mixing them with different bacteria that make different proteins, that you can actually create different proteins made by organisms that don't seem to make that protein naturally. And so just because the mechanism of GMO isn't what we say it is, doesn't mean it's a healthy food. In fact, in our garden and what I buy for my own food, it's almost all, if not all, either open pollinated plants and old-fashioned heritage breed animal food, or maybe one hybridization, which is basically just old-fashioned plant breeding.